hard to say. No, it's good, it's good. And then you try to take that movie in your head and break it down into scenes, and as you break it down into scenes and to dramatize it, you always make little discoveries, and hopefully it fits into the master plan. That's my process.
I'm waiting for a dream where Edward shows up.
If it's me, don't be disappointed.
Jeanette, though, you don't get a dream for every book. I mean, really, I think sometimes people get the wrong idea. Like, okay, I'm going to wait till I have a dream and then I'm going to write a book. I got one, and I've written 5 books to date. So, sometimes it's a lot of work in between the moments when the character does run away with the story and say things you don't expect. And that's when it's really good, but you have to work in between those times. Not put it off until the dream comes and John shows up and the story's there.
Anybody see the poster with all the faces and all the sign-ons in the bags? Did they get those yet?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, look at John. He's doing his best Edward impression.
Yeah. I feel like I can vomit.
I go to a little shop in Tijuana and I purchased my manuscripts there.
Tell the rest of us where it is.
Oh,
And that's where I get my blue pills.
yeah. We have nuns in the audience, John.
I do teach Sunday school.
Laney brought up a really good point when she talked about writing being work. This is question number 6. Is writing hard work or is it recreation? Maybe it's sometimes one and sometimes the other. Does writing wear you out emotionally? How does it feel when you've just written out a really good scene?
Well,
That would be rare.
we talked about this actually last night, and the funny thing is for me, writing is, I hate it. Which is pathetic, but like I was, like Brandon, a little bit nerdy. I belong to the Greater Iowa Aquarium Association. And 8 aquariums, including a hospital aquarium for when one fish got sick and I didn't want them to pollute the others. So, but I also play football, basketball, baseball, and did have a girlfriend, so I just want to make that point. So, no, seriously, for me, I played RPG, so I didn't play the D&D thing, but it was a Middle-earth role-playing game. And I love like just making the characters, and I never played the game. Like, so to me, it's the planning, it's the storytelling, and then I actually like the editing. So if I could just hire somebody like to like write the book in the game, and then I'll just edit it and make it good, that would
Okay, dude, John, do you want to
I'm not going to
do
feel that.
I think we're going to have a...
That was a joke.
No, do you like the editing part and not the writing? We need to get together.
Like I said, put my name on the back and in 1-point font. That's cool by me. So the planning is like way fun and the editing, but the writing's work for me.
I agree. I love the editing part of it because when you're editing a manuscript, it comes back to you from the editor with like 8 million post-it notes stuck to it about all the stuff you might have done wrong. I treat that like an ongoing dialogue with the editor. So you get to page 68 and there's a note that says, "Is this actually a word?" And you write on a blue post-it note that says, "No, it isn't, but I reserve the right to invent 3 words per book." Then on page 129, you're like, "Word number 2. On page 367, word number 3. Then on page 400, you hit another made-up word, and you add 2 blue post-it notes that say, "Okay, scratch the one on page 129. This is my 3rd invented word." So having fun like that is kind of how you get through the editing process.
I actually like the writing part. I like to sit down, start from the beginning, make up a whole story. When I first started, I thought it was actually an easy process for me just laying it all out. I'm like, oh, I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to get rich, and I can drink socially. You know, it's acceptable. And then I thought that the drinking part is only because the first part never happened. So you make they allow you to drink so that you forget about the fact that how small your royalty check was, and that's how they get you. That's how they trick you. Yeah, it's like a machine.
The only way I could write is to promise myself that what I'm writing at that moment is not the real book. My first book, I started in the file on the computer was Nightmare Academy 10. And I just pretended that it was never going to be the real thing. And that was the only way I could actually get through it.
My happy time when I'm writing is when you know when you're reading a book and the book's really good and you're into a trance, right? And you're just kind of like seeing the story. You're not totally just reading the words. The story's playing in your head. You're not totally aware you're reading. Sometimes, for me at least, there's a writer's trance. You slip into the trance and the scene's just kind of working. And it's just kind of going. For me, that's my happy time because you come out of those trances and you go, heck yeah, something happened. You know what I mean? That's my beautiful writing moments.
I start out with titles. I make long lists of titles, hundreds deep, of different titles that sound like they might be interesting books. And the first thing I do is Google all those titles to make sure that they're I've done those titles before, and I know I'm in the clear, and I have a short list of titles. And then since also I'm an illustrator, then I create a mock cover with typography, such and such a title by Chris blah, 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 and I create this whole finished cover without anything inside this book. And then I stare for days at this cover. What kind of story would be inside this?
You have 11